So as we sometimes like to do here on the Day Tripper, we're about to change things up completely. Mostly because the place we're headed is so remote that it takes way more than a day to explore. It's still in Texas, but totally off the grid. So get ready, because for this trip, we're about to dance with the devil. Ah! Devil's River! This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. In remote West Texas, the Devil's River slowly winds its way south, pouring into Lake Amistad on the Mexican border. And about here, you'll find the Texas Parks State Natural Area. Like a ribbon of turquoise blue, the Devil's River snakes through the arid landscape. So remote that to this day it flows virtually uninfluenced by human hands, which is one of the reasons it remains the most pristine river in Texas. In a desert land where everything sticks, stings, or bites, the Devil's River is a safe haven of abundant life. But be warned, beauty is deceiving. What may be tempting on the outside hides danger for all who dare to step off of its banks. And we're gonna paddle it. It's a trip that starts long before you reach the water. Gear, permits, and more planning and prep than any Texas trip I've taken to date, especially when trying to simultaneously not die and make a TV show about it. Camera.
Check.
Audio gear.
Check.
Knives?
I do it.
I've got a knife.
Got a
Rope.
knife.
Day Tripper on 3.
Woo!
1, 2, 3.
Day Tripper!
The devil cannot be toyed with, which is why I've assembled a top-notch crew. Brandon, outdoor expert with countless summits all across the world. Travis, a 4-time finisher of the Texas Water Safari Canoe Race. And Todd, cameraman. Outdoor experience? He's walked on grass before. But most importantly, he's got the right attitude, which comes in very handy on a trip like this. With the Devils being a full 4 to 5 hours west of Austin and San Antone, a Texas-sized road trip is in order. With stops, I'm definitely tagging for future trips. Don't push me. That's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's just right.
I could definitely swim in this. But overall, this long journey is more time to prepare and get in the mindset that we're about to do something totally unpredictable and something few ever can or will be able to do. The first task is meeting our outfitter, or at least I hope. Okay, so we have ventured well off the beaten path, and we are heading down a dirt road into one of the most rugged parts of Texas, because this is where our outfitter told us to go. And they were either telling us the truth or they're taking us out here to kill us and dump our bodies, because no one would ever find us out here. That would make for a short trip, but luckily they weren't steering us wrong.
Are you guys ready to go play on the river?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, should we just start loading up our stuff in the back of the truck? Or?
Yeah, we'll put all the loose stuff in the back of the truck,
All right.
and then we'll just load up, and we got about an hour and a half drive up to the river.
Hour and a half, even from here.
Yeah,
All right. It's an adventure. It's a definition of adventure.
Oh, definitely.
We set up our paddling trip with Amistad Expeditions, run by river guide Darren Carr. Darren specializes in DIY paddlers, those that want to rent a kayak, get a shuttle, and be left to the river.
Where I'm going to drop you off is called the Del Norte State Natural Area. We're going to go in, and we've got about 28 miles of dirt road to get down there.
28 miles of dirt road?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
You're going to the middle of nowhere.
Here's a map of what truly lies ahead. We're starting at the Devil's River State Natural Area, North Unit. For the next 2 days, we'll be canoeing approximately 15 miles to the Big Satan Unit, to rendezvous with Darren tomorrow afternoon. And because there's no way to do it in a single day, this will be the first ever 2-day tripper. There it is. Wow. Drive a few hundred miles through the desert, absolutely no sign of water, and then you arrive at this little oasis right here. Woo! It's a little chilly. Almost went swimming. First step in. Man, this is kind of emotional for me. I've heard about this river my entire life, and now to be here, put my feet in it, I'm pumped.
I think as a Texan, you got Guadalupe Peak, and then you got Devil's River. Those are two mandatories as Texans.
You ready? The state natural area is almost completely primitive. It's one of the only public access points on the river. Since we'll be left alone for the next 2 days, here's a brief rundown of the gear.
We've got food, we got all the necessities, first aid kit, lots of water, fishing gear back here, little light tackle box just in case, sleeping bag, little camping stove. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, map, very important. But there's really only one way the river runs, and all you can do is hop in and ride it down. Let's go.
The trick is traveling as light as possible, but still making sure you've got everything you need, because the devil don't play.
Yes, more senseless victims. I'll have fun with you.
We'll see you at 4 tomorrow.
Y'all have a great trip,
Thanks, man.
Really
I really appreciate it a lot.
Catch me a bunch of fish.
Oh yeah, I will. We will. And there goes Darren. Adios, amigo. Which means we are on our own for the next 2 days. Just me, you, these guys, and the devil.
And the feeling of total desolation only increases once you're on the river. We, as humans, are the outsiders here. It's a land that is vastly beautiful, but also incredibly dangerous. There are mountain lions, snakes, scorpions, on top of rapids, flash floods, and waterfalls. But all that peril is put up against the backdrop of one of the most beautiful, pristine, and naturally wild rivers that I have ever seen.
I mean, look how blue-green this water is. It's almost Caribbean.
And this, my friends, is the reason folks like us are willing to risk it. Speaking of natural beauty, I did mention there were waterfalls out here. The first and most impressive of which is not even a mile from where we started.
Whoa, doggy. I know. That's Dolan Falls right up there. So what we need to do is get out of our kayaks and the canoe and go and scout it. We don't want to run that thing.
When in doubt, get out. Because if you don't scout it first, well, by the time you realize it's dangerous, it may be too late to turn back.
Wow. I've seen pictures of this on the internet, but nothing has ever done it a single inch of justice until you see it with your own eyes. I mean, there's something about just looking at pictures of something and seeing it in real life. They're completely different. Man, that is moving. That is moving so fast. This is the reason you stop and portage. Because if you end up accidentally going down this thing, you're gonna lose the entire boat, all your stuff, and quite possibly yourself.
With a waterfall like this, we must portage, which means hauling all your stuff around the rapids to avoid them.
We got it. Easy as portage. That's all. That's what they always say, right?
But with the kayaks and canoes safely below, let's go swimming. How's this for a secret swimming hole? Dolan Falls is so incredible that it's actually owned by the Nature Conservancy, so that it will always remain protected. And anyone who ever visits can clearly see why Dolan Falls is worth protecting. Oh man, we're not even a mile down the river and already getting distracted. If we're gonna make it to our takeout point tomorrow, we gotta keep moving, because who knows what may lie ahead.
So, they knew about portaging. Well, we'll see how much they know about my other tricks.
The history surrounding the river only adds to its mythic status. At one point, it was named the San Pedro, or St. Peter. However, legend holds that when Texas Ranger Jack Hayes had to cross it, he took one look at it and famously said, "St. Pete? Heck, this is the Devil's River." And that name stuck. And while the river may seem so remote, it's beyond the hands of the law. Not so. This is not a Wild West free-for-all, and there are some rules you need to know right from the get-go.
Okay, so if you're making a trip out to the Devil's River, here is the very first rule you need to learn. The entire river is public. However, all the land around the river is private. So the big question is, where does the river stop and the private property begin? Well, here's the rule. Everything in the river you can stand on. So all of the low-lying areas right around the river, as long as they're not more than a foot above the water line, totally safe. You're not violating anybody's property rights. Public property, private, whoa! Private property. I knew these property owners were strict, but I didn't know they were that strict. Some of these mountains seem pretty tempting to climb, but we gotta respect the owners. We're here for water. Let's head down the river.
So rule number 1, respect private property. Rule number 2, everyone has to get a permit, and those come straight from Texas Parks and Wildlife. Rule 3, if you're gonna go fishing, make sure you got a license.
We now interrupt this programming to remind you to like and subscribe. Now back to the road.
So not only is the Devil's River a world-class destination for paddlers and just basic outdoorsmen of any kind, but it's also world-class for fishing. The game out here is largemouth and smallmouth bass. This is what the bass are eating, meaning I hope this is what they want to eat right now when it's attached to my hook. You know, paddling is fun, but it can be slow at times, just kind of meandering down with the river. But it's always fun to bring a little fishing pole with you when you're out here and, you know, just throw it out a little bit and see what you can catch.
Into fishing we will go. And fishing, and fishing, and fishing. Well, nobody ever said this was an action-packed sport. That is, until you land a whopper. Whoa! All right, that's definitely not a keeper. All bass have to be above 14 inches, and this smallmouth is just a little shy. We're having some luck, but no dinner just yet. We'll have to just keep some lines in the water and see what bites. Our main objective is to keep moving.
I just want to jump back in and go swimming. But we got 15 miles total, which means today we need to make it 7 or 8 at least. And I have no idea how far we've gone, but not far enough.
We've actually gone about 3 miles, meaning we're just about to face our first real river obstacle, known as 3-tier rapid.
Okay, so we are getting out and scouting the rapid to figure out if we can actually run it in our boats or if we need to portage around. I think the canoe is definitely going to have to portage down these rocks, but we may be able to run it in the kayaks. We'll see.
3-tier rapid is appropriately rated as a class 3, which requires some special attention. Have a plan and do your best to execute the plan, or else the river might execute you. And just as we're about to make our move, another group is moving through. These folks did not scout the run. Let's see what they can do.
So maybe just like that?
Exactly like that.
Ours may not be that pretty though.
No.
But others aren't having the same luck.
That is what you don't want to do on 3-tier rapid.
Now it's our turn. I think that scout definitely came in handy. There are rapids all the way down the Devil's River. Most of the rapids are class 1 or 2, and they generally don't require a scout. You just bite down and pray.
But that's the tricky part. You're not real sure when the rapids are coming until you get into them. So you have to be extra cautious and stop before you think there's a rapid, before you think there's a possibility that there could be a rapid, so that you don't get trapped.
But you always must remember that even the best laid plans can come devilishly unraveled. Uh-oh, water bottle down. Water bottle retrieved. And again. Uh-oh, canoe down. Uh-oh, Todd down. That's why things are in dry sacks. Agility alone is one of the benefits of a kayak over a canoe. Canoes can hold more stuff, but can be much harder to take down rapids. So if you make a Devil's River trip, choose wisely. This here's called the Devil's River Booty Scoot. You only get to do that one when the water's low. While many of the rapids are fairly easy to run, some aren't even easy to find.
All right, so what'd you find out?
Dead end.
Dead
Dry
end?
creek bed. Well, then where the heck does the river go?
What looked like nothing is the way to go.
That's insane.
Yeah, can you believe that?
There was nothing over there. It doesn't look like, it looked like the river disappeared.
My fault.
No.
It's all our fault.
I mean, I will let you take the blame, but I would have gone this way too.
Yeah.
Bust out the old trusty guidebook.
While the book does come in handy, sometimes no map or compass is any help for what the devil may throw at you.
The river actually took a left instead of a right, where it just disappeared into a whole big patch of reeds. It looked like nothing. It looked like the shore, but it's back that way. So we got to go backwards on the Devil's River to go forwards again.
This place is tricky for sure. The devil keeps you on your toes at all times. And what may look like just a forest of reeds is actually the river.
Fiddlesticks! Disappearing river trick didn't work either. That's not the last thing I have up my devilish sleeve.
This is crazy. So we just went through some rapids and the topography changed. Suddenly it feels like we're in a canyon. I mean, the walls start right at the edge of the river. Check it out.
And on top of all the diverse landscapes, there's the diverse wildlife. Water's so clear that you can literally see the fish swimming around you, and dozens of species of birds, including vultures just waiting for us to die. And occasionally, you even see signs of human life. One small stretch of river almost feels like a neighborhood. And between the paddling, swimming, and goofing off, the sun has disappeared behind the canyon walls, and it's getting dark. While we don't yet have a fish to our name, Travis did catch a turtle.
But he tried to burrow and I wanted to pounce on him.
This is a western painted turtle, common to the Devil's River.
Look at his shell. Isn't that cool? Do you know where the fish are? We're getting hungry. No? This is awesome.
It's getting dark, and it's getting dark fast. So to sleep, we've got to find either a rock island within the river bank or low-lying land on the sides below the river gradient, which we're learning can be a real challenge. A challenge we're about to face in the dark, and that includes running any rapids that might be in our way. Oh man, this could be a very long night.
Black Rapids didn't work either. Wait, they might be dead. I'll poke them to see. No life? Yes! Hey, nice sleeping bag. My favorite color. And this one. Uh-oh, not dead. Yet.
Oh, rock bed. Not as soft as mattress bed.
Barista Travis.
Gonna get us a cafe latte this morning.
Morning, Brandon.
Morning. It's nice to wake up to the water running right next to you.
I swatted what I think was a massive spider off of my face last night.
That was me.
Oh, good.
Okay, so it's the beginning of day number 2. We've all had a wonderful sleep under the stars here on this rock bed. I was hearing fish splashing in the water as my head was all of 2 feet away from the river. I kind of wanted to hear some coyotes last night, but didn't. I'll give you all a little tour of camp. Here's the kitchen. Directly next to it is the sleeping areas. Here's where I was. There's where Travis was with that terrible pad. Here's where Todd was. And Brandon had that nice spot right over there. We put him there because he's the tastiest for mountain lions. What are we having for breakfast, Brandon?
We are having some cream of wheat, backpacking style, straight in to the packet.
How'd you sleep last night, Brandon?
I feel pretty good. I found a nice little flat spot. I definitely did hear noises in bushes. Actually, I heard a big rustling, and I jumped up and looked. I thought it was going to be a landowner.
Travis, what about you, man?
My feet got really cold.
Yeah.
Your little pad has 0 air left in it, man.
Yeah, you can see I have a few patches on it.
Todd, what about you?
I didn't sleep all that great. It's just not my usual thing. During the night, it was really cool to look up in the sky and see all the stars. That was just phenomenal. It was amazing. It was gorgeous.
We're gonna grab some breakfast, pack up our stuff, and then get back on the river.
But as I'm filling up my day's water,
landowner.
I appreciate y'all following the rules on camping and everything.
Oh, thank you.
I really do.
We tried to be real intentional about where we picked the spot, and because we certainly don't want to do anything wrong.
No, you guys are doing perfect, man. I just wanted to compliment you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good time.
Wow, that was cool. A lot of landowners out here get a bad rap because they, I don't know, they're known for being aggressive and angry and don't want anyone anywhere near their property, but he just came over to compliment us on following the rules. That's pretty cool. And this leads us to the golden rule of camping: leave no trace. I see very little sign of human life here. Y'all ready?
Let's do it. You know, the saying is leave only footprints, take only pictures.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We've got plenty of pictures.
Yeah.
Our late night push took us over Dandridge Falls in the dark and made for a total of 9 miles. That means there's less than 6 to go, which will give us ample time to take in the sights, some of which have been waiting 4,000 years to see us. Not only is it all natural artwork, but there's actually human artwork up in the cliffs. It's a coyote chasing a turkey, hence the name Turkey Bluff. And I think that also makes it the very first coyote bird thing, predates Looney Tunes by about 4,000 years. It's just neat to think of people living here thousands and thousands of years ago enjoying the Devil's River like we are now. This whole region is called the Trans-Pecos and has some of the best ancient pictographs in the world. The cave art has been here for thousands of years, but hopefully our impact on this fragile river will last only as long as our feet are in the water. But the thing that will last for the rest of our lives is the impact this river is making on all of us.
I've been lucky enough to travel to probably 40 countries. You know, a lot of times when I'm traveling, people ask me, why do I live in Texas? I feel like this is a perfect reason why. Just being in a place like this, it's just a way to replenish your soul. And I feel rejuvenated after I come.
They say a bad day out here is better than a good day in the office. Sometimes I can definitely see why. Beautiful and grand. There's nothing like getting out on the river for some reason.
Man, this has been a really cool trip for me. This is so out of my comfort zone. It's not something I normally do. It's awesome just to see the beauty of nature, God's creation that's around here, and the fact that we call this home. This is Texas. This still blows my mind.
For me, coming to a place like this strips off the excess in life, the busyness and clutter that so often weighs us down, and gets me back to how I feel God intended it. Man, coexisting right next to beautiful nature. And I know it's called the Devil's River for a reason, but from where I'm sitting, this place is heaven. And after days of paddling, sunburns, rapids, and flipped canoes.
Hey, guys, look. Over yonder. I think that's takeout.
All right! Woo! Right on cue, Darren is here.
I don't see any bruises too bad or too many cuts and all that, so
We're alive.
man, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
That was fun.
It's a whole
I think
new
we had the
experience.
most fun. Todd, fun? He's 50-50.
I had fun, but I'm so ready for civilization. I want cell service and air conditioning.
Pizza, hamburger, steak.
Twitter, Instagram, he's ready.
What a trip. As Texas grows in population, I'm so thankful that there are places like the Devil's River, places where man can come face to face with nature, pristine, untamed, and completely wild. Well, it looks like we were able to outsmart the devil. So for this one, via con diablos.
Wait! No! No! Come back! No! No!
Eh, I'm just kidding. Via con Dios, amigos. So the river is public. However, all the land on either side of the river is private, except for the state natural areas, which are few and far between. No, let me try again. So the entire river is public. However, all the land around the area, the river, darn it. God, what am I talking about? Like 2 sentences ahead. This whole little bluff right here is called Turkey Bluff, Coyote Bluff.
There's something stuck in the door here, guys.
Chet, what's that?
Is there a reason this
That's
is
weird.
in the door?
I don't know. It looks like a pitchfork, the devil's trident or something.
Where'd
You
you
see
guys
this?
find that?
This was in the floorboard down there. Is that yours?
No, man.
That's weird.
Makes a good souvenir.
I know. Devil's River.
It's weird.
Cool. Howdy, y'all. Follow along with my adventures at Chet Tripper on Instagram and at The Day Tripper TV on Facebook and YouTube. Or head to thedaytripper.com for travel guides, past episodes, and info on our mobile app and Team Day Tripper.
This episode was made for y'all with the help of our awesome partners. Check the caption for more info. Howdy y'all, Chet the Day Tripper here. Thanks so much for tripping with us. Remember, while you're here, like this video, subscribe to our channel so that we can stay out there on the road and keep on tripping. Did we miss anything in this town? Leave us a comment, let us know. We love finding out about new stops with all of your tips. And if you love Epic Texas Day Trips, remember to check our channel. We got a lot of them on there. Also, don't forget, if you want some sweet Day Tripper merch or another cool Texas-made product, come see us in Georgetown at the Day Tripper World Headquarters. And you can also shop online if you check the link down there in the caption. All right, y'all. Bye con Dios, amigos.